Hello everyone. So the course is already on the screen, so I don't want to spend time on that. So before going into the course, I assume that some of the candidates would love to learn apart from looking at the videos and hearing the audio. I know that some candidates or some of the students would be more interested in reading. So for them, I have kept some of the reference books here. So this is what I found to be like. I have read these two books to some extent, and I found that these two are quite good books. So, and the reason why we have chosen Python is because if you look at the trends of different coding languages, you would notice that Python is on the top. So that's self-explanatory that most of the organizations, most of the companies, most of the colleges, they are making sure that Python is one of the important coding languages which everyone should know. Okay, so that's the reason we have chosen Python. Okay, so these are the two books. One is by Manoranjan Pradhan and the other one is Abishek Viara. So if you want to have a look, you can always have a look on those two books. Those are quite good. In this course, you will understand why ML is so important and why ML and AI is gaining so much importance in current era. Okay, and why we are looking at this course, why people are going after this course, because everyone knows that ML and AI is gaining a lot of attention in the market now. But why is it so? It's because that everyone tells that data is a new oil, right? Why generally people tell that data is a new oil? Didn't we have data before? Or is it that we are getting something new? Why is it so? So the reason is we had the data before also, we have the data now also. But the reason why this data is gaining so much importance because the price of storing the data has come down significantly, right? So if you could recollect from your school days, in your school, we used to have the floppies, right? And the floppy maximum size would have been, I don't remember, but it was in KBs, right? So do you think even a single song can fit into KB storage? No, right? It's not easy because if you could recollect the size of one single song, it's around 5 MB, right? So you can't even store a single song in floppy drives. So what was the cost of a floppy drive? So just imagine if you want to buy 1 terabyte of hard disk somewhere 20 years back, it was around $1 million if I'm not wrong. For 1 terabyte, people used to spend millions of money for just buying or storing 1 terabyte of data. But now, if you understand and if you look at the market and then if you look at some of the hard disk, you notice that 1 terabyte is cost around 3,000 to 4,000. And also now we have option to store the data in cloud, right? So this is the reason that the storing the data has become significantly very less expensive so that every organization is focusing on storing the data. And what happens by storing the data? It's pretty simple. When we have the data, historical data, we should be able to predict the future. And how do we do that? We cannot predict the future. We will be writing some algorithms which will be predicting the future. And how do we write those algorithms? With some statistical analysis. And how does statistical analysis or algorithms will know that what needs to be read and how does statistical methods would know what how to predict based on the past data. So it's simple. We have the past data, we are feeding that to machine or the statistical methods. Based on that, by looking at the data, machine is learning. That's the reason it is called as machine learning. And then machine learns the past data, it gets trained on the past data, and then it predicts on the future data. So this is a simple definition which will be repeated again and again throughout the course because it's very important. So everyone might have heard ML and AI of late, right? It's very important. But to become a machine learning engineer or artificial intelligence engineer, what do we need? If I want to go and look at this, what do we need to become a machine learning engineer? So the first thing which I would always tell to my candidates the three most important things which are required to become a data scientist. So after completing this course, you will be applying for the job, right? So once you apply the job, you will get a job position of ML engineer or AI engineer or maybe data scientist. So what do we need to become that? While understanding this course, I want you guys to focus on three different points. And the first point is maths and stats. So this is the first point where I want you guys to focus. And second point, coding. Third point, common sense. And when I'm taking this course, I'll make sure that you work on all three. How will I do that? I'll keep on asking some mathematical and statistical questions throughout this course. And don't worry, guys, don't worry. This is a very basic maths and stats which is required. So you don't have to worry. I will make sure that you are coming up to that grip that you should be able to understand simple maths and stats. So if someone likes maths and statistics, then it's very good. And if you don't like, then don't worry, because this is very basic maths and statistics which is required for this course. And I'll make sure that at the end of this course, you will start loving maths and statistics. And coding, it's my responsibility. The onus is on me that I make sure that you guys, all the candidates have good amount of knowledge on these three areas. So how will I make sure that you are good in coding? So in every class, I will be doing some hands-on in Python, and after the class there will be some assignments which you guys need to complete. So the onus is on you as well that you should complete the assignments. So if you complete the assignments, I don't see any reason that why don't you become a data scientist. So if you do your hard work from your end and just listen to the videos and complete the assignments and projects, then I'm pretty sure that you will start loving this course, and then you will fetch a good opportunity in data science field. And the third field, so which is my favorite, so common sense, right? I have thought a lot and I have done a lot of brainstorming on this, and I felt, how would I make sure that everyone should think like everyone would be working on it, right? So nowadays in our organization, in colleges, we keep thinking in this direction, but I've kept only one simple effort which I want to put forward from my side is, after every class I'll keep asking the puzzles, guys. So by that, I will make sure that your logical thinking increases and your analytical skill increases, by which you will start loving the course. Okay. So these are the three things which we both in the sense, you all students and me, that we all have to focus on these three. Theory part, it's anywhere there, but these are the three core areas or core things which we always have to focus. Okay. Cool then, so let's get started. So this is the course structure. This course is divided in 12 weeks. So today is our first week. The first week, as I told, will start with some simple probability and mathematics and statistics, so that I can make sure that you have not forgotten your maths, what you have learned in your school. Because I want everyone to go back and recollect all the fundas what we have learned in our school days. So in this session, we'll be looking at those points. And believe me, it's important. Probability and statistics is important for this course. So that's the basis of machine learning. And then we'll start with basics of machine learning and AI. From third week, we'll start the real predictions. So it's important. We'll start working on the predictions. So as I already told, machine learning is all about predicting, right? So that is where we'll start. And then I don't have to go into week 4, 5, 6, because those are also different machine learning algorithms from week 3rd to week 12. But first and second, first one is mostly mathematics. Second one is the basics of machine learning and AI, which is also again more of maths. Okay, so to get started, guys, welcome to this first week of course, and this is of basics of probability and statistics. We all know, and believe me, guys, I'll keep asking a lot of questions between the sessions. So basics of probability and statistics. So what is probability? In simple language, in a layman terms, how likely an event is to occur. Simple, right? For example, so as I told, this is for mostly, there will be a lot of mechanical aspirants in this course. And me coming from mechanical aspirant, I will also give a lot of examples in mechanical direction. So let's imagine that you have a machine. How likely that your machine will deteriorate, or how likely your machine might get spoiled. Simple, right? Or for example, on the brake disc, how likely your brakes will fail, something like that. And how do we calculate the probability? Probability is something favorable events divided by total possible events, right? So here there are three pictures, and these are the three pictures which I have taken thinking that in our school days we have done a lot of problems on probability on these three examples. Guys, before going into those questions, please let's play some games and let's think in this direction. Are you able to recollect all the basics of probability and statistics? First, starting with simple questions. I have one coin. What is the probability of getting heads? Quickly, guys. Simple question. How can it be 1? I agree with 1 by 2 and 0.5. How can it be 1? It cannot be 1, right? Listen to the questions, guys. I have 2 coins. What is the probability of getting 2 heads? I agree with 1 by 4. I agree with 0.25. I do not agree with 1 by 3. I do not agree with 2 by 4. Yes, I agree with 1 by 4 and 0.25. So there are some candidates who have also answered incorrect. So that's not a problem. So that's the reason we have this first week of course. So it's simple. In the first example, I have one coin. What is the probability of getting heads? So by looking at the formula, what was the favorable event? Getting head. Now, total possible events. Now, what are the total possible events do we have? 2, right? Head and tail. What was the favorable event? It was head, which was 1, right? So the answer is 1 by 2, which is quite simple. But when I have 2 coins, okay, let me take this. I can do this exercise of 2 coins by taking 2 coins and tossing them and getting 2 heads, or tossing a single coin 2 times and getting head 2 times. So both will lead to the same solution. Okay. So in this case, when I'm tossing a coin 2 times, then the total possible events. What are the total possible events in this case, guys? It would be 4, right? How? Let's quickly do that. So I have 2 coins, right? So I can get heads, I can get head tails, I can get tail head, and then let me put it in bracket so that you don't get confused. And don't worry about my handwriting, guys. Till you are able to understand, I'm fine with it. Don't worry about the handwriting. So there are 4 outcomes when I'm tossing a coin 2 times, right? Head head, head tails, tail head, tail tail, right? So all the total possible events are 4. Now, what was a favorable event? Getting 2 heads, and that would be only one event, right? So the answer is 1 by 4. So I hope everyone is able to understand this. Okay. If I am tossing a coin 3 times, what could be the possible outcomes? First of all, tell me how many outcomes will be there. 8, right? Okay, some of you have written 8. Great. See guys, initially I'll be slightly slow because I want you guys to recollect all your fundas, the basics which we have learned in our school. Okay. So, and what is the probability of getting 3 heads now? It's 1 by 8. So let me rephrase the question now. So, okay. Someone has written 2 cube for the denominator. So let me first explain that. We can't keep on writing all the events in the denominator, right? So if you want to know what is the denominator value for that, if I'm tossing a coin single time, the denominator will be 2 power 1. If I'm tossing a coin 2 times, it will be 2 power 2. If I'm tossing a coin 3 times, it will be 2 power 3. If I'm tossing a coin 4 times, it will be 2 power 4, so on. So that's how your denominator will be decided, right? Now, let me rephrase my question, and I want everyone to tell this answer because till now I have asked very simple questions. Now this would be a slightly of intermediate level. Please listen to the question, guys. What is the probability of getting exactly 1 head when you're tossing a coin 3 times? I agree with 3 by 8. How can it be 1 by 8, guys? How can it be 2 by 8? It should be 3 by 8. So we all know how the denominator is 8, right? Now let's understand how we got the numerator as 3. Let's understand that. So this was one outcome. The second outcome was this one. This is your third outcome. Fourth outcome. Fifth outcome. Sixth outcome. What will be the seventh one? Seventh outcome. What will be eighth one? Okay, so I have written all the 8 outcomes, right? Now if you notice, getting exactly 1 head, What are those? So let me write what are those. It's H, T, T and T, H, T and T, T, H. So now the total possible outcomes, we have 8. Getting exactly one head, we have 3. The total favorable events are 3. Total possible events are 8, right? So going back to the slide, exactly one head, the answer would be 3 by 8. I hope everyone is able to understand this. Okay, now let me rephrase. I'll be asking a lot of questions, guys. You have to answer it, okay? Because I want to make sure that you remember all your basics. Okay, now I'm tossing a coin 3 times. What is the probability of getting exactly 2 heads? Come on, it's 3 by 8, right? So now all the total 8 possible events, right? So the denominator is 8, right? That's correct. But for numerator, so this would be 1, right? I'm just striking it, okay? This would be second, this would be third, right? Making sense? We have total 3 favorable events divided by all the 8 events, so 3 by 8, right? Now, till now, I will come up with the logic, okay? So, till now we are dealing with only 3 coins. That's the reason we are able to count them. Or what if we are tossing a coin 100 times? We'll look into such possibilities as well. But before going ahead, one more simple question. What is the probability of getting exactly one head tossing a coin 3 times? Come on, quickly. 7 by 8 is the right answer, guys. Why? So if I want to look that, for example, what are the possible ones? At least one head, right? So it can be one head once, which is this, this, this. At least one means it can be 2 also. So this one also, this one also, and this one also, the ones which I'm striking with blue color, okay? At least one means it can be 3 heads also, right? So now if you understand, the answer is pretty simple, which is 7 by 8. Now, we can also tell the answer in different way. At least one head means 1 minus 0 head probability, right? 1 minus the probability of getting no heads, right? Both are same, right? So probability of getting a no head is, that means when we have all the tails, right? So which is 1 by 8. So this will also be 7 by 8. And why we have 1 here? Because the sum of the probability for all the events will be 1, right? So sum of the probability will be equal to 1, right? So either you can get 7 by 8 by counting like this, or 1 minus probability of getting 0 heads, which is 1 by 8. So 1 minus 1 by 8, which is 7 by 8. Making sense, guys? Now one last question on this before we go into 100 coins. What is the probability of getting at least 2 heads? It's 4 by 8, right? 0.5. How? Because 2 heads means it can have either 2 heads or 3 heads. So for 3 heads, only one event. For getting 2 heads, there are 1, 2 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 divided by 8. Let's go to a difficult problem. Now I have 100 coins. Listen to the problem. Or let's imagine this. I am tossing a coin 100 times. What is the probability of getting exactly 50 heads? Let me simplify the problem and then you should tell me the answer, okay? If I'm tossing a coin 100 times, see, the probability cannot be greater than 1, guys. Okay, so as I told, for 100 coins, you don't have to worry because this is a complicated problem. You don't have to go with Poisson distribution. Okay, please hold on, guys. I will ask you one simple question. Tell me the answer for that first. I am tossing a coin 4 times. What is the probability of getting exactly 2 heads? As per your previous logic, is it 2 by 4? So everyone is writing 2 by 4. Okay. I am tossing a coin 4 times. What is the probability of getting exactly 2 heads? See, this is where I want you to think. So that is where common sense comes in. Guys, everyone, please note down. As I already told, the logic for denominator, as you increase the number of tosses or the number of coins, the denominator increases with the power of 2, right? So for 4 coins, the denominator will be 2 power 4, right? Now we have to decide for the numerator. So 2 power 4 is 16, right? Please write all the 16 events because now you know that the denominator logic is very simple. When you're tossing a coin 1 time, the denominator will be 2 power 1. When you're tossing a coin 2 times, the denominator will be 2 power 2. When you're tossing a coin 3 times, it will be 2 power 3. When you're tossing a coin 4 times, it will be 2 power 4. So the denominator logic is pretty simple, guys. Okay, now we have to decide for the numerator, right, of exactly getting 2 heads. So everyone, please write it down on your piece of paper, everyone, guys. So that's the reason why I'm taking this first week of course, because I want everyone to refresh their mathematical skills. Okay, for 4 there are 6 events, right? So now what was the answer? The answer was 6 by 16. So was the answer 1 by 2? Was it 1 by 2, guys? No, right? It was not 1 by 2, right? As some rightly mentioned, 4c2 by 2 power 4. Now let me go back and tell you how did he get 4c2 by 2 power 4. Now you must be wondering what is this c, right? So that is what I always tell guys. Never ever forget your basics. So what is the C? Combination. Do you remember permutations and combinations, guys, from your school days? P and C, permutations and combinations. So we have 4 coins, that means 4 heads, right? Out of 4 heads, we want 2 heads. So we are selecting 2 heads, right? So that's the reason we have the numerator 4c2. And the denominator logic we already told, which is 2 power 4. So the answer is 4c2 by 2 power 4, and 4c2 is 6 by 16. I have 4 coins. I can get 4 heads maximum, but out of 4 coins, I want only heads on 2 coins, right? So that's the reason I have 4c2 here. Now, can you please tell me the answer, guys? It's for 100 coin questions. So answer is 100c50. If I want 50 heads, it is 100c50 by 2 power 100. So will it be 1 by 2? It will not be 1 by 2, right? Someone has already calculated through calculator. Thank you for the time. One more time. I have tossing a coin 100 times. What is the probability of getting 100 heads? It cannot be 1 by 2. So it's 100c100 by 2 power 100. So it's 100c100 divided by 2 power 100. And 100c100 is 1. We'll discuss that. How to calculate the c values also we'll discuss that. But now, is everyone on the same page? Are we able to digest this? I can understand the answer it's very small, but yes. Here the answer is not important. The concept is important. Is everyone able to digest the concept? Now, listen to the question. I'm tossing a coin again 100 times. What is the probability of getting at least 99 heads? Okay, guys, I'm not biased towards heads. Okay. It's just that I'm taking all the questions with respect to heads. I can also ask the questions in terms of tails. Okay. At least 99. At least, guys, at least. Not exactly 99, not exactly 100. Someone has given the right answer. But can you please write that in terms of C? See, you cannot write in terms of 1 minus, guys. Yeah, you need to understand this. If I want to write that in terms of 1 minus, no, it will be very big answer. You need to understand when to write 1 minus and when to write directly the answer. Let me write down. Now, I have 100 coins. So the denominator is 2 power 100. Simple, right? Now, at least 99 means it can be 99 or it can be 100 or it can be greater than 100. But ideally, it cannot be greater than 100 because we have only 100 coins, right? So it can be only 99 and 100. So I can get 99 coins, or in permutations and combination language, if you remember, or means addition. 100c 100. So this would be your answer. Why I cannot write 1 minus? Because if I write 1 minus, then I have to write, see, if I ask you question of at least 1 head, then it was pretty simple. Because at least 1 head means 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or so on up to 100 heads. So we can directly write 1 minus 0 heads or no heads. But for 99, you cannot write that, guys. It will be very difficult to write that, at least 99 heads, right? So if I want to write for at least 98 heads, then it will be 100c98 plus 100c99 plus 100c100 divided by 2 power 100. Making sense? So you should understand what does at least mean here, right? So plus means or in permutations and combination language, and means multiplication. So for 5 minutes we'll have Q&A questions. How to calculate C? Okay, I'll be telling this answer in the course anyways. So please hold on with that. Next question.
So how
Moshi.
it is useful for mechanical industry?
So before going to this question, let me tell you, I'm also coming from a mechanical industry, Moshi. Okay, and see, think in this way. We need break as a human being, right? We might fail. Similarly, machines can also fail, right? And now if you see, there are lot many opportunities in prediction when the machine will be failing, so that, for example, in the manufacturing area where you are manufacturing something, there will be a lot of machines, right? Let's example lathe machine. Everyone knows what is lathe machine, right? So if we know when this lathe machine gonna fail, if we can predict that, then we'll not be using that lathe machine in a weak condition and using it furthermore and deteriorating it. Once we are able to predict it, then we can replace that machine or we can repair that machine. As someone has rightly mentioned, life of machine calculation. Yes, you can expect the life. You can predict the life of the machine. This is one example. There is one more example which I can give you guys. See, for example, as a mechanical engineer, we always think of temperature, right? So if we do this mechanical simulations, we know that mechanical simulations takes a lot of time, right? So we need to do something else. We need to predict the temperature, right? If we can predict the temperature, then it will be quite simple. We don't have to perform so many simulations for long enough time. We can directly predict the temperature itself. Is it possible to get a job in ML or AI domain with knowing Python software alone? To answer your question, see, if you know only Python, yes, you can directly get a job, but then you should have the knowledge of machine learning and AI. So by this course, you will have that knowledge. And yes, Python is enough. Believe me, Python is enough. In point view of industry, they can hire students from IT and CSC background. Please elaborate your question. Meanwhile, I look at some other question. Yes, is there any basic course on coding that can help us? Okay. So, see, there are a lot of courses, but you don't have to worry, guys, because, okay, I'll be starting with very basic of coding in this session. You don't have to worry. What is the difference in predicting by ourselves and by machines? Is it trustable? So, if we are predicting something by ourselves, just imagine if you want to get the temperature of the brake disc, and if it is a transient simulation. I hope you are coming from a mechanical background. So if you want to predict the temperature of the brake disc, and if you want to perform the brake disc simulation over the vehicle, then just imagine, guys, to perform a brake simulation over the complete vehicle, it takes 25 days. Believe me, you might get the very good accuracy. You can compare the accuracy with test results. The accuracy might be say 90 to 95%. But is it really worth it spending 25 days? If you get the answer by predicting using machine learning within couple of hours, maybe with 80% of accuracy, we don't mind getting that 80% of accuracy if we are able to predict in 2 hours. So what we are doing, we are compromising with accuracy, but the computational time has significantly reduced, right? Isn't it? I think I have answered your question. You can elaborate if you want to, but use of R as compared to Python in ML. Okay. To answer this question, use of R. See, R is also quite famous, but then you have to understand when to use R, when to use Python. See, R is used for statistics. R is quite famous when you want to go with statistics. Okay. But when it comes to machine learning and deep learning or AI, Python is more robust. Okay, so that's the reason we are going with Python, and a lot of organizations are hiring for Python. How AI, ML, and DL related? Okay, for this question, there is already an answer in the second course, so I don't want to go into that. Okay, so but I can quickly tell you what is AI. AI is something where robots or machine can mimic humans. Simple. Machine learning is something where we are improving the machine's accuracy by looking at the past data. DL is advanced machine learning. It's a simple classification which I'm telling. Okay, we anyways have a separate second week of course on this. Don't worry. If I want to join in ML domain, should I only focus on programming part or in mechanical subjects as well? See, it's depend in which organization you are getting hired for. If you're getting hired for mechanical subjects, you don't have to worry. Anyways, if you're coming from a different background, you don't have to worry, guys, because people will hire you only basis of your machine learning knowledge. Okay, if you have mechanical knowledge, it's just an advantage, but you can always apply for different organizations in different domain. Okay, it's just a matter of domain knowledge. Don't worry, guys, you can learn domain knowledge quickly after joining the organization. but your interview mostly will be on technical, which is machine learning and data science. Okay.
Most of the data analytics jobs from accounts for tools like Informatica, MDM, SAP, Sabboots. How you compare this job with data science using Python for ML and AI? How vast is its market in India based upon opportunities?
Okay. See, what I can tell you is you can look for the job opportunities. Just write data science in any job portal. I don't want to encourage any job portal, but that's the reason I'm not bringing out the name. But just open any job portal website and look for the opportunities in mechanical background or your corresponding domain knowledge background, and look for data science. You will come to know how data science is important. You have number of opportunities in data science, number of opportunities. Can you give him the list of companies? Because I have just, but there are, every company is using data science. Believe me, every company nowadays is using data science. Without data science, company might encounter loss, because then they have to spend a lot of money in predicting something by themselves. So every company is using data science. To answer the question, how to calculate C. So what is C? Permutations and combinations, right? P and C. So if I want to calculate, for example, 100C2, then you have to write 100 and then one number less than that, and then in the denominator 2 into 1. Simple. If you want to calculate 100C3, then 100 into 99 into 98 divided by 3 into 2 into 1. Okay. Similarly, if you want to calculate 100C50, you understood, right? You have to write 100 into 99 into 98, so on up to 51 divided by 50 into 49 into so on, right? So I think everyone, you got the logic how to calculate the values of C. But there are few more things which you need to understand, because we cannot, for example, if I want to calculate say 100C99, I cannot calculate 100C99 like this. 100C99 will be equal to 100C1, so which will be 100 by 1, which is 100. I cannot calculate 100C99 in the below method, right? So there is a particular logics. So you have to go back and refresh your basics. Okay. How to calculate the permutations and combinations. There are different formulas for permutations and combinations. You can also read them, but this is how you basically calculate the C values. Now for permutations, let me just tell you for P also. I don't want to spend much time on this, but let me just quickly do that. 100, this is 100P2. Okay, let me write 100P2 once again. It's 100 into 99, simple. In C, you will get the denominator. In P, you will not have denominator. The denominator will be 1, simple. We are still on first slide, guys. I need to hurry up. Let's quickly have some more questions. You can take this as an assignment, guys. I have 2 dice. What is the probability of getting 1 on both the dice? 1 by 36, yes. So denominator, you got the logic, right? For coin, it was 2 powers. For dice, it will be 6 power. So it's pretty simple. And I don't want to take some more examples here. Let's go ahead. And everyone has enough knowledge on probability.